The journey beyond. In a quiet village nestled at the edge of a vast forest, there lived a young woman named Alara. She was not like the others in her village. While most people were content to live simple lives, tending to their farms and raising their families, Alara's heart yearned for something more. From a young age, she had felt an unshakable sense that she didn't belong in the village, as if the world beyond the forest called to her. The forest, known as the Endless Wood, was a place of mystery and legend. Elders often warned villagers not to venture too deep into it, for no one who had gone beyond a certain point had ever returned. Some said the forest was enchanted, while others whispered of an ancient curse. Yet, these warnings only fueled Alara's curiosity. Every night, she would stand at the edge of the village, staring into the dark woods, feeling the pull of the unknown. One evening, as the sun set and the sky blazed with hues of orange and pink, Alara made her decision. She packed a small bag, took her father's hunting knife for protection, and set off into the forest. The journey had begun. At first, the forest was peaceful, the soft rustling of leaves and the distant calls of birds accompanying her. The path she followed was narrow but clear, as if it had been waiting for her all along. She felt strangely at ease, as though the forest welcomed her presence. As the days passed, the forest grew denser, and the path less defined. The trees were taller, their canopies so thick that sunlight barely reached the forest floor. Yet Alara pressed on, driven by an invisible force, a feeling deep in her soul that her destiny lay ahead. One night, after traveling for nearly a week, Alara came upon a peculiar clearing. In the center stood a stone archway covered in vines, seemingly ancient and forgotten by time. It was unlike anything she had ever seen. As she approached, she felt a soft hum, a vibration in the air. The archway seemed to pulse with energy. Without hesitation, she stepped through it. The world on the other side was like nothing she had ever imagined. The sky was an iridescent shade of violet, with stars so close they looked like they could be plucked from the sky. The air was crisp, filled with the scent of unknown flowers, and the ground beneath her feet shimmered as if covered in stardust. Alara quickly realized she was no longer in her world. She had crossed into the beyond, a realm spoken of only in myths and legends. It was said to be a place where time flowed differently, where reality itself was malleable, and where those who entered were forever changed. As she explored this new land, she encountered strange and wondrous creatures. Some were beautiful and ethereal, while others were terrifying and dangerous. She met beings who seemed to be made of light, who spoke in riddles and gave her cryptic warnings. One such being, an old woman with glowing eyes, told her that she was the first human to enter the beyond in centuries. "You have a great purpose here," the old woman said, "but the path ahead is fraught with challenges. The beyond is not kind to those who seek its secrets." Alara had always felt that she was meant for something greater, but now she wondered if she had ventured too far. Despite her fear, she knew she couldn't turn back. There was no returning through the archway. It had disappeared the moment she stepped through it. Her only option was to continue forward. As she journeyed deeper into the beyond, Alara discovered that this realm was not just a place of beauty and wonder. It was also a place of trials. The landscape would shift unpredictably, making it difficult to navigate. One moment, she would be walking through a field of glowing flowers, and the next, she would find herself standing on the edge of a bottomless chasm. She faced creatures that tested her strength and wit, puzzles that challenged her mind, and illusions that tried to trap her. But with each trial, she grew stronger, more resilient, and more attuned to the strange magic of the beyond. She began to realize that this journey was not just about discovering a new world. It was about discovering herself. One day, after what felt like months of traveling, she came upon a great mountain. At its peak stood a magnificent temple, glowing with a golden light. Alara knew that this was where her journey would lead her. The climb was treacherous, but she made it to the top, her heart pounding with anticipation. Inside the temple, she found a single figure waiting for her, a man cloaked in shadows, his eyes glowing like the stars in the sky. He spoke to her in a voice that seemed to echo through her very soul. "You have come far, Alara," he said. "But the journey beyond is not just about what lies outside. It is about what lies within." In that moment, Alara understood. The beyond was not just a place. It was a test of her own spirit, her own courage, and her own will to grow. She had faced her fears, her doubts, and her limitations. And in doing so, she had become something more. The man smiled, and the shadows around him dissolved, revealing a blinding light. "You are ready," he said. And with those words, Alara felt herself lifted, her body and soul transcending into something new, something infinite. She had completed her journey beyond. But in truth, it was only the beginning.